There is nothing as ungrateful as a human's heart, and it seems that we are taking nature for granted, thinking of it as a gift we can take endlessly.
도시분들은 원으로 금전을 가지고 불을 따주는데 우리는 자연 환경을 가지고 그래가지고 살면 마음의 불이.
Beautiful scenery could be said to be the biggest luxury that nature gives us. This is how we ended up visiting Jukseoru today. Jukseoru, one of Gwandong's 8 scenic sites, is located at the northern part of Samcheok at the end of Gangwon Province. People who have stood at the road along the coast of Samcheok understand the unexplored lands of the East Sea. This area helps you assume why water is clearer in a deeper valley. Oshipcheon Cliff earned its name meaning 50 streams from the 50 curves of the waterway people had to cross to get to upstream. This is where Jukseoru stands, proudly boasting its dangerous and beautiful figure. Not only is the view of Jukseoru extraordinary, but the location is also unique.
그 삼척 죽수루 같은 경우는 이 괴석 사이로 나는 이 길이 있습니다. 이 괴석이라고 하는 것은 인간의 세상이 아니라 그 신들이 사는 하늘의 천상의 세계, 이상향의 세계를 표현해 주거든요. 그래서 이 괴석 사이에 바로 천상의 세계로 표현되고 있는 이제 이 죽수루가 있음으로 해서 그 죽수루의 분위기가 신선이 사는 아주 아름다운 곳이다라고 하는 걸 연출해 주고 있습니다.
Most of the 8 scenic sites of Gwandong overlook the ocean or a lake. Jukseoru is the only one situated on an odd-shaped rock overlooking a river, which makes it unique. It is assumed to have been built during the late Goryeo dynasty, and it shows off a mature aura through its gentle features.
삼척의 죽수루는 이게 건축적으로 굉장히 그 중요한 의미를 지닙니다. 이렇게 한국 건축물의 그 특징이 뭐냐하면 그 자연과의 조화거든요. 누각의 그 하단 부분에 기둥이 13개가 있는데 그 기둥의 상당 부분들이 다 길이가 다르다는 거예요. 기둥 길이를 다르게 하는 이유는 밑에 있는 원래 있던 이 자연석 돌을 그대로 주춧돌로 이용한다는 사실입니다. 이 자연과의 조화를 통한 어떤 건축의 모습은 인공적인 그런 건물보다는 더 강하고 견고하다라고 하는 걸 표현해 주는 것이죠.
In old times, people used to think that beautiful, resistant structures could be built without harming the nature around it. We can sense the tendency of old-timers that thought becoming part of nature and enjoying it ideal.
정조 임금 같은 경우도 이 관동팔경을 보고 싶은데 직접 오지는 못하죠. 그래서 가장 아꼈던 그 화가인 단원 김홍도를 보냅니다. 단원 김홍도가 그렸는 그 죽수루 그림을 보고 정조가 그 감흥을 시로서 쓴 것이죠.
Unlike some pavilions that are a personal space, Jukseoru is a more public area groups use for moral training. Scholars of the Joseon dynasty appreciated art and discussed academic studies at pavilions like Jukseoru. Some people follow the laws of nature without forcing anything. Samcheok is a land that shows what an ingenious life is. At the foot of Samcheok lies Noa village.
영남이나 호남 같은 경우는 지붕을 초가를 했잖아요. 논이 있으니까. 여기 논이 없어. 적송을 70 내지 80cm로 잘라서 그렇게 지붕이 이거를 지금 너와 집이고 이거는 실제 80년대 초반까지 사람이 살았습니다.
The roof may look as if tiles of pine trees are entangled with one another. However, they are cut and laid out along the grain. It uses a fascinating method of construction which allows sunlight to seep in through the tiles, but not rain.
관솔 불로 요다가 조명을 이래 놓으면은 양쪽이 밝다하는 이 불을 지피는 조명하는 등두. 저쪽으로 안 부엌, 이쪽 바깥 부엌 요다 놓으면 양쪽이 밝다는 얘기지.
People living in Noah houses couldn't help but become wise in using their space because of the lack of supplies living in the mountains.
지금은 도시로 나가지만 그때는 산중으로 화전을 일가먹고 곡식해서 갈아먹었다는 얘기지. 그렇게 사는 곳입니다. 이게.
I suddenly wonder if anyone still lives in Noah houses. Asking around, we find out that 1.5 hours away from Noah village, in the middle of nowhere, lies an old village. One person lives there, farming alone. The owner of the house is Chun Young-suk, and he's the 5th generation to live here. The rest of his family no longer lives in the mountain because of the children's education. However, Young-suk raised 10 healthy children by gathering mountain herbs and medicinal herbs.
이 밑에 내게 뭐 5집인가 있었고, 이 월도 한데 6집이 있고, 저짝도 고래 집이 있었고.
His great-great-grandfather moved to this village, which gives the house a history over 100 years. Part of the roof is still covered with pine tiles, but the rest is made in zinc. It's sad that the original form couldn't have been maintained.
너에리는 사람인데 그렇게 좋다는 게. 이 벽도 흐림이 그렇게 사람인데 좋다는 게.
This radio is the only connection he has to the outside world.
왜 이렇게 지내면 즐거우세요? 산속에서?
뭘 생각할 타지죠. 좋다면 좋고 안 됐다면 안 됐고.
The one thing Young-suk needs to dig up the dry ground is rain. Examples of letting nature be can be seen everywhere along the coast that stretches to the east end of Samcheok. The rocks that add to the beauty of Galnam village aren't merely for the view. They also allow the villagers to collect gifts of nature like seaweed.
나잠들이 이제 제주도에서 올라와가지고 일로 이제 시집을 오신 거지. 그래가 이제 지방 사람이 된 거야.
The female divers from Jeju Island don't forget the habits their bodies are habituated to. They go after natural seaweed that grow on rocks underwater. Their diver suits and flippers are all the gear they have. However, they are second to none when it comes to picking seaweed.
밑에 수심이 있는 건 안 하고 딱 돌 가게끔 하기 때문에 돌각이라 이랬는데 아니 품질이 우수하고 뭐 옛날에 임금님한테 진상하던 그런 미역이에요.
The leaves of natural seaweed called corner seaweed don't grow wide, having been pestered by waves, and can be easily distinguished with the naked eye. The villagers of Kalnam eagerly wait for the boat that comes back with a full load of seaweed thanks to the female divers. The seaweed is laid out on the port with the aid of a crane, and the smiles break out in the villagers' faces.
살살하고 저걸 깨줘.
Even seaweed collected from the cleanest part of the ocean becomes useless without the process of drying out in strong sunshine and a cool drought for 2 to 3 days. This is why the women are busy hanging seaweed in the village's public drying area.
다른 데서 하는 거는 양식하는 거니까 좀 짜지. 이건 바위에 자연을 나는 거는 좀 씹어 먹어보면 달큰한 기가 있고.
There is something as good as the scent of seaweed that fills the whole drying area. These boats shaped like rafts called tebe can be easily seen on the east coast. Tebe are useful in collecting seaweed or catching fish at coastal fisheries.
옛날에는 배가 흔치 않을 때 동력성이 없을 때는 이 뗏목이 어촌에는 큰 일을 했죠. 뭐 미역 채취할 때도 그렇고 여러 가지로 어촌에 많이 필요했죠. 뭐.
Moon-gyu, who works as a heavy equipment operator at a nearby mine, is on vacation and goes out on the tebe to collect hijikia, which is in season. Collecting and drying hikijia to sell in the winter when it is rare can bring in a small fortune.
시골에는 자기만 부지런을 하면은 생활비를 서울에보다 3분의 1을 줄일 수 있잖아요. 그런 마음의 여유도 있고, 물론 서울 계시는 분은 돈은 많이 벌겠죠. 우리는 돈을 적게 버는 대신에 각박하지 않고 여유가 있잖아요. 마음이.
He works with swift movements, explaining that hikijia can't easily be seen after the season changes. However, the endless waves make it difficult for him to fill his sack. Once he brings the hikijia home, his wife is in charge of storing it. There were times when people added hikijia to rice when rice was scarce during the spring poverty. The power of nature that reaches every corner of our lives is mind-blowing.
부쳐도 먹고 이걸 어떤 사람들은 된장에도 끓여 먹고 그렇게 먹더라고요.
Now, hikijia has become a delicacy and highly effective health product. It is also a welcomed gift that brings the couple closer together.
너무 맛있지?
내가 따가줘서 먹으니까 더 맛있는 것 같네.
나는 신랑이 또 따가지고 와서 해주니까 더 맛있네.
This family's simple life becomes gratifying through this gift of nature. Jukseoru and Samcheok makes us wonder if our last option is to choose to coexist with nature.